Here it is, the MacBook M5 Air. Fully maxed out, 32 gig of RAM, 10 core GPU, and just like we did with the MacBook M4 Air, let's see if this bad boy can vibe. So in my last video, a lot of you were asking specifically for the maxed out M5 Air. That's why I went out and bought it for you guys. So I hope you can sit back, relax, and we'll put it through its paces in terms of vibe coding and coding in general and whether you can get that work done. Now, my intention is to run through a technical setup for running local LLMs in the first place. So subscribe for that video. But we're just going to dive right into just getting this set up for vibe coding specifically and seeing how it performs with local LLMs. Just the idea of having it all in this little MacBook is pretty exciting, and I do think you'll be able to get real work done. But anyway, I'm speculating. Let's figure out how I'm going to record this video and get on with it. And just because we're not going to be talking about hardware, the only thing to mention is that you get a color matched braided cable, which is quite nice. But in the UK, you don't get a plug socket. Okay, hopefully this is a good setup. So, I wanted to give you a quick rundown on how I've got my local models downloaded. You can use Ollama or you can use LM Studio. I kind of prefer LM Studio just because it gives me a little bit more control, but Ollama is just an inarguable way of not only getting local models on your machine, but also having cloud models. So if you can't quite run it on your local machine, you are limited to their usage, obviously, and you can pay $20, sorry, for the Pro plan. However, I want to run this completely locally and put this laptop through its paces anyway, but it's nice to have that option, and it won't be 100% private because you're still sending it off to the cloud. So with that being said, I have downloaded 3 models, and again, I will be making another video on why all this stuff matters and what models to choose and things like that. The point is, I have 32 gig of VRAM, and all of these equal under 32 gig, so I can run these models, and Google tells me these are the best models for local coding. And also, I set up dev mode inside of LM Studio, so I don't know what the difference is. I think there's an extra menu here, I don't know. But let's start with Qwen 2.5 Coda. Let's load the model, and we're going to whack up that context length. This will be one of the most crucial things for making sure you're able to run in actual code bases, being able to consume the whole code base. Now, the maximum I've got here is 32,768, so we're going to take that for what it's worth. Now it's going to load it, all of those 18 gigs into memory. Now I'm screen sharing right now. I'm hoping that doesn't have too much of an impact on our performance, but hey ho. And so with this loaded in, we want to start a server, and it's going to be reachable at port 1234. This is now ready to go, ready to be consumed. I'm going to go into VS Studio, and my recommended way of running local models, just because of the flexibility, is Kilo Code. And for what it's worth, and legally I think, I asked Kilo Code if they wanted to support this video, and they said yes, but they have no editorial say in any of the contents of this video. They're just supporting me in the work I do. Now, if you go into settings here, we want to actually set up a new profile, and let's call it local LM. And if we select the provider here, they've even got LM Studio already listed as one of their providers. Now it's asking us we must provide a valid model ID. So let's go back and let's get that. So that'll be Qwen. It's going to pick that up, and we're going to save that and start a new chat. Now this won't be a deep dive on Kilo Code, but what I like about profiles is that you can have different models for different modes here. So we've got architect, we've got code. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that local LM, and I'm going to ask this a question. So what does this code base do? Hit enter. It's going to do its thing, and what we should see at the back here, and we've got some, I believe this is called pre-filling. So it's already 25%, which isn't too bad. Now, you would normally hear fans on something like a MacBook Pro, but of course, MacBook Airs don't have fans. So all I'm doing is I've got my hand kind of just feeling for warmth because we're at 50% prompt processing right now. It does feel a little bit warm, but not crazy. So we've got now a response, and that's reflected here. So it's processed the prompt, we're getting a response, and we're streaming that out. So it's not crazy fast. You can see it streaming in there, which I'm not mad at. Like, I think my previous test, something like this literally took about 15 minutes just to ask something like that. And I had an M1 Max fully maxed out, completely maxed out. So what are we talking about? Between 3 and 5 minutes there. Let's cancel that and go to a new task. Let's actually try and get it to solve some of these bugs. So I'm just going to literally dump those in. I actually don't know what these bugs are. It could just be something to do with, again, moving it to this local machine. So I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to just give it straight to the code agent and make sure local LLM is selected and let her rip. Now this is just processing what I've said to it. It's that the AI has then got to actually do something. So again, I'm just feeling for that warmth. It's not too bad, really. Oh, and by the way, I've got this for 2 weeks. I will be returning it, but hopefully I'll get this out soon enough for you to let me know down in the comments what sort of things you want me to do with this laptop. I low-key want to do a MacBook Neo OpenClaw video to get it running on there, just for fun mostly. But if you want to see some OpenClaw stuff as well, let us know. Toasty. Okay, it looks like we might have got a response. API error. So this is one of those things that I've encountered, this failure rate. And this comes with the territory of some of these free open source models. They just aren't as capable. Now this is trying. It might be that the actual number of tokens to keep from initial prompt is greater than the context length. So it's actually run into a context length issue. Now there are models with bigger context lengths. So if we go to, could probably get this in there as well. Let's have a look. It's still 32,000. That's 163,000. So we could try DeepSeek because you're obviously balancing the capabilities of the model as well as the context length. And I think it's fair to say that Qwen doesn't have the biggest context length, but it's a more capable model. So here it is. If I log in, I actually got an error there, so we could probably just error when logging in. We'll give it one of these. Seems to be doing good. GPUs are maxing out. Okay, we're getting a response now. Honestly, I just got a bit lost there coding and trying to fix these bugs, and the speed isn't terrible. I have to say, when I was kind of locked in then, like working through it, yes, we're having a bit of issues with installation and getting this app started, but I felt like I was in a little bit of a flow state there, and all I'd say is that I'm getting a little bit of glitching going on, but it just kind of clicked me out of it and thought, actually, for something that's running on all GPUs, screen sharing, and using this app, like the fact that I only literally just got a little bit of a stutter on my mouse, the fact that all this is running is a real testament to how good this chip is. Now, as I say, we're still getting there with getting this bloody app up and running, and I think that's in part due to the fact that the model itself isn't as capable as something like Opus. However, it doesn't change the fact that this is just coding. This is just what it's like to code. You know, you're whatever the task is, you're throwing the errors, you're throwing the situation to the LLM and seeing what it comes up with. So I have to say, I mean, I'm a patient person. I think I'm a patient person, and I was kind of chilling. You know, it kind of felt like less pressure. Like when you've got a model that's like responding really fast, you go. There's a lot of pressure. The fact that is forcing me to slow down a bit. What I want to do, in fact, if we cancel this, we'll go to a new task. What I want to do is just ask it. And here's the thing about running local models is that there's a difference between loading up a code base in the context and literally asking it to generate a HTML file. You know, this is the issue with some tests that people run when they're not developers, is that they ask it just to create a simulator, like a one-page HTML document, and that's where you'll have no issues with these models doing that. Right, so with that, let's create a new task. Create dummy terms and conditions public page for the software. Now, with a fresh bit of context, a simple file, we're not asking it to consider the whole code base. We're just, it will understand the structure and that's about it. We should get something pretty straightforward, and I don't anticipate any issues here. So already we're getting a response. And here it goes, creating literally seconds into it. It's already creating content. And here we have it. So I enlisted, because I didn't want to stick around, I enlisted the help of Minimax to help get this done, because originally the file you would have seen didn't have any consideration for styles or anything like that, and within moments Minimax picked that up and added a bunch of style, which looks pretty in tune with the rest of the website. Look, I've been filming this for an hour now, and I think the results speak for themselves, that I haven't actually been able to make any significant progress forward. I think ultimately my opinion remains mostly the same, is that any real work is still not possible, even with the M5 MacBook Air. It's a notable improvement. Definitely noticed it within the first few moments. Already getting a response. The preload time and all the rest of it was really good. However, if you're looking to get really serious work done, then I would strongly recommend some of the more closed source models like Anthropic or Codex or whatever. But if you're looking to tinker, you don't need the speed and the immediate response. Say more, you want to use it for more proactive tasks or sideline tasks, say chatting and things like that, then why not? I was again so surprised at how capable this machine was. Even some of the open source remote models like Minimax, GLM5 are a good middle point between going full frontier, paying top dollar, and free and open source, which gets casual work done. And obviously we also can't rule out the fact that this only has 32 gig of VRAM. Now, this can only run certain size models, so the more RAM you have, the more capable it is. But this is the MacBook Air and this is what we're stuck with. Anyway, we'll leave it there. Again, let me know if you want me to do anything before I return this, and I'll be sure to make a video on it. Like, subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, keep on vibing.